trustworthy family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the FL1 betting podcast here on FingerLakes1.com. Paul Russo, Jim Sinicropi, and Kyle Evans here with you. Week 15 of the NFL in the books. We'll be recapping our picks from the weekend. Looking forward to Week 16. Full slate of games starting tonight in the NFL, Saturday and Sunday and Monday. And then also we got the college football playoffs, so maybe we'll have some picks there. We'll talk a little bit about that and maybe some other bowl games along the way. But first, I think a couple more of our sponsors here today, including Lux Hotel and Conference Center. Next great location for your overnight stay, wedding, event reception, meeting space, and more with on-site food and beverage. At Woody's Bar and Grill, you'll find everything you're looking for in one spot. You can contact them today to inquire about your next opportunity. And Blush by CV Designs, a local woman-owned business in the heart of the Finger Lakes, offering women's clothing, accessories, quality home goods, and unique gifts. See what everybody's talking about by visiting their location in downtown Seneca Falls. You can also browse all of their products online at shopcvdesigns.com. Folks, get in there while you can. Last minute Christmas shopping.
You may be wondering why Blush by CV Designs on a betting podcast has probably got mostly male dominated.
Exactly.
But you know what? Guys need to get that last second gift.
Exactly.
For their significant others, moms, sister, whatever. And that's the place to go.
Exactly.
And if she's from around here, Christine might even know what she likes.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I know even last year I was able to get some barbecue sauce and stuff down there. So, hey.
Great candles.
All I'm saying is,
I like the candles.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of something for everybody down there in my mind. So you can't go wrong with a last-minute gift shopping or year-round shopping down there. So let's take a look at our Week 15 bet card, gentlemen. So me and you, Jim, not great. 1 and 2 for each of us. I'll begin with my end here this week. First time in a while we saw Army Navy hit the over. So
2 years in a row now. Though.
Well, yeah, but I forgot though last year it got weird on a lot of markets in the game. So I'm declaring the first true over in a little bit in that game. Navy just flat out rolled Army in that game anyway. I was loud wrong on the Giants, despite them being able to find the end zone this past weekend. At least the Bengals, despite a little bit of their best efforts, though, they did get the win and get that home for me.
Steelers, and same thing with Kyle losing on the Steelers. I was a little surprised. TJ Watt got hurt. I don't know. That was a rough one. I don't know what to think about the Steelers this week either because of last week. But, the Broncos, the team of the year for me.
Team of the year for probably a number of people, admittedly. Crazy there, too. We'll see them in action this weekend again. But Kyle
was no sweat win, right, Kyle?
Yeah, that was an easy one. Back to the Steelers quickly. They didn't score a single point in the second half. It was a game at halftime, 17-13. But
it reminded me back of the early part of the season when the Steelers were winning games without scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
It doesn't work against every team.
No. And the Eagles' defense is playing better. That's why I think they might have the edge on the Lions now.
Yeah, no, the Eagles seem to be the best team in football right now. I actually thinking about, they got Washington this week, and they're only 3-point underdogs, and it just seems like, they can clinch the division. But that's probably a discussion for later when we give our picks. But I did pretty good in college last night. The bowl season's underway, and the Dukes got the win. I took a 2-team parlay, UNLV and James Madison -2.5 each. Teased both lines a little bit. $20 paid 54, I think.
There you go.
And it was fun watching. The James Madison game was fun to watch. The UNLV game was kind of low scoring and boring.
Well, I wouldn't say it was completely boring. We got to see an actual, not anything against the Bills and Josh Allen, but an actual chest pass completed in a football game
Yeah, I
via
saw.
UNLV last night. So, Bowl Mania. We'll get to more on that, though, in a little bit, because I do want to talk a little bit about, maybe it's more so the college football playoff stuff, but just a couple of reminders for folks there. College football playoff here as well. Interesting 4 set of games this weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This weekend is awesome.
Yeah. College football wise begins Friday night.
Yeah,
in
the
this
weekend
sense,
begins Friday.
Yeah.
When I talk about weekend, I mean, of course, there are some day games, but not playoff day games, right?
Saturday there's a couple.
Yeah, I mean Friday.
Oh, correct.
Like, when does the weekend actually start? I mean, for a lot of people, it's Thursday night.
True.
Even though they got to go to work Friday, they still feel like the weekend's here.
It's true. Yeah.
And then the weekend, from a sports betting perspective, ends on Monday night. With Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And I think there's college games too this week on Monday.
Yeah, I think there's a couple there's at least one bowl game. We got one bowl game tonight, Thursday night, Georgia Southern and Sam Houston. That game's going to be interesting. Got a couple bowl games outside of the playoff game tomorrow on Friday. Monday, though, at 11 a.m., the Myrtle Beach Bowl. So, Coastal Carolina and UTSA. So, kind of a de facto home game, actually, for Coastal Carolina.
They're underdogs.
Yeah.
3 points, I think.
Yeah, so will be interesting there. But yeah, Friday night really gets it going. It's a pretty big. I talked a little bit about this yesterday with Nick. It's a rivalry game that isn't really a rivalry game, because normally when we talk about Indiana and Notre Dame, it's basketball oriented more than anything else. Certainly not football. And this is actually the game that has the highest ticket price still on the secondary market going on. It's one of the tighter ones. I mean, depending upon how you look at it, it's more or less a touchdown game that they're viewing it. This is a pretty exciting game to really get things going.
I think they played once since 1991.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're in-state. They're not rivals, but
Yeah.
they're in-state schools in Indiana that don't play very often.
Yeah.
And now they're playing on a huge stage.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just one of those things where outside of, I guess, 1979 or whatever it was that they were talking about on game day when they were there this year. I mean, when was the last time that we were really talking about Indiana football in this sense anyway?
Well, if they win, we'll be talking about them a lot more.
That's true.
If they lose, probably won't be talking about them again for a long time.
Yeah, well, at least until the start of next year.
Right.
Kurt Signetti got them boys rolling. SMU Penn State gets the slate going on Saturday. Selfishly, even though it's probably not the smart bet, I'm really hoping SMU just somehow finds a way against Penn State. I know the weather's the big denominator there. I'm not picking, surprisingly, any college football games on my picks this week. But I will say I do like Clemson catching double digits against Texas. I don't know whether they'll win outright, but I think
Texas
Clemson
has not been super impressive. And
Yeah.
They haven't played a very difficult schedule overall, considering they are in the SEC now.
And when was the last time, if any time, we've talked about this in the college football space? I think experience is pretty big now, a little bit here. And administratively, look, Dabo Swinney's been in this spot before. Steve Sarkisian really hasn't. I think that can play a bit of a factor as well.
Dabo does well as an underdog, it seems.
Yeah. Don't want to give him any more ammunition than he already needs. And then the night game on Saturday probably is the one that carries maybe the most excitement, probably more than even Indiana and Notre Dame, but Tennessee at Ohio State. I mean, I know a lot of stuff I've read online involves Buckeye fans not thrilled that there's going to be a pretty good amount of burnt orange in attendance.
Weather's not going to be good.
No, it's kind of funny how people in the mainstream have said that maybe Ohio State maybe doesn't want a home game in a weird way. Just maybe something goes sideways, might be a lot of boo birds, and I don't know if
Well, they lost to Michigan last time they played
I don't know if Ryan Day and his
in that stadium.
Just for Men Beard are going to be able to handle it.
Offensive lines, they're not banged up. They're not playing. They're all reserves.
Yeah. So, in terms of those games, I think the best way to approach it, kind of like an NFL game, more than anything else, it's a bit of a different case than bowl games. Bowl games to me, I don't know if you want to wait until the last minute necessarily on bowl games compared to the college football playoff games if you're going to bet them. But key things to keep in mind with the normal bowl games outside the playoff games, the opt-outs and stuff like that, players can still opt out until pretty much right up until game time more than anything else. Obviously, it's not going to be the case. I don't think a team's going to want to take a kid on a cross-country flight if they don't have to or don't want to. But that being said, for example, locally here, the game for Syracuse, the Holiday Bowl, has taken a pretty big swing with all the opt-outs and coaches leaving Washington State. A lot of the line now is completely shifted to Syracuse. And, I guess in that sense, if you want to jump on it now, it may be the best case to, because I don't know if you'll get a lower number than what it's at if you're out of state. But, if you're one of these games, say, like I mentioned, Monday, Coastal Carolina, and UTSA, you might want to wait a little bit closer to kickoff just to kind of see any late breaking stuff and what might happen there compared to the college football playoff, where you probably could hop on it now or even before today and be fine.
Especially lines will move a little bit based on the weather as you get closer to the games. But it's hard betting bowl games, not the playoff games as much as regular bowl games, because motivation is hard to gauge. It's a vacation for a lot of these kids.
Oh yeah.
So and what's really on the line? I mean, you do want to win, I think, a bowl game and get that trophy and your season on a winning note, but yeah, I like, what's the line in the Syracuse game now?
I would need to double check that.
8?
I know it was originally kind of fluttering near that anyway in the first place.
We're going to roll Washington
I need to double
State.
check
I
it,
think
yeah.
we're going to roll them. And I
There,
think,
get it.
Right here, my man
Yes,
Kyle
sir.
McCord, he's got his own potato chips. Going to have a huge game and propel himself into the NFL draft and end up being the starting quarterback in 2025 for the New York Giants.
I love it.
Right there.
The line right now, I was able to get it. Syracuse, best line you can get for Syracuse, laying points is 13.5.
Oh, boy. Wow, that moved a lot.
Yeah, Washington State catching 14.5.
I still like the Cuse to win by 46.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody on Reddit last night with everything kind of going on, jokingly said like 70-0 Syracuse. And I'm like, I don't fully know about like that, but
I like the sound of it.
yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to that, obviously, for the fandom case, but yeah, I mean, hopefully, as long as everybody still is playing the play that's supposed to play for Syracuse, should be fine there. So, but that's the case it is for every bowl game in that sense, and that's what we're really getting to here. I got really nothing else. NBA Cup came and went. Hopefully, you took some unders in those games if you were betting those.
I bet the championship. I took the Bucks plus 3.5, I think, and the under.
Yeah,
that was a nice hit. I've had 2 bets this week, won them both. It was that one, and followed by the college football games last night.
Nice. Yeah, I was able to get a couple college basketball games, and they had main one being Texas Tech on Monday night.
I haven't been touching it because I've been so terrible.
Yeah. Luckily, for the sake of everybody here, maybe we're in the conference play for the most part now. A couple more non-cons happening here and there, but be really able to see for sure what teams are at this point and what they aren't. So
that's usually when I slow down college betting, because I usually do good in the pre-conference, but I don't know what's going on this year, so I'm just not touching it. I'll wait till March Madness probably.
Don't blame you. Still is no better time.
Last year during March Madness, I took every single underdog in every single game in the first 2 rounds, Thursday, Friday, and I made a killing.
Yeah.
I made a killing.
So,
and I'm going to do the same thing this year.
Hell yeah. It's the way to do it. All right. Let's
money line underdogs.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well do that.
Yeah, well, that's how it works. You get for every 12 seed or higher that wins, it's a big payoff.
Yeah. Although the dreaded 5-12 now is not, I don't know, not what it used to be. A lot of 5 and 12s now. There's a lot of 12s hitting. So
right, which is I'm taking the underdog on the money line, and when they win, it pays really well.
All right, let's get to our picks then, shall we? Kyle, been mighty quiet over there, but that's about to change because once again, has been the case for probably I don't know, at least 12 of the 15 weeks we've had so far. You're coming in as the leading dog, so choice is yours, going first or deferring.
Well, this week actually worries me for the first time.
Oh.
I spent a lot of time trying to figure out where I'm going to go with this. But I'm going to lead it off with the Eagles, -3.5 at Washington. Sorry, Paul. Just think the Eagles are playing too well right now, and I know it's a divisional game, but I think the Eagles will pull away and win that one.
Okay.
And then the Lions. I get their injuries on defense, but they still have a hell of an offense. The Bears are just awful. They're going to cover that -6.5 at Chicago.
The only thing worries me about that is despite how bad the Bears' offense has been, Caleb Williams has not turned the ball over. And
Can I have a moment of non-betting talk involving Caleb Williams though? Get rid of the ball sooner.
yeah,
My God.
Yeah, it's bad. And then my final one, I'm not going to lie. I had the Bills last night -14, but I changed that today.
Oh.
There's just, I'm not too confident in that. So I went Bucks -3.5 at Dallas.
All right.
Buccaneers offense has been elite the last few weeks. Dallas can't stop the run. They have Bucky Irving. They have Rashad White. I think they'll do enough to put up enough points to win by 4.
I had both of those on my list. Not except for the Lions. I had the Bucks and Eagles, but I'll move away to different picks just for the sake of variety on the show. But yeah, I'm scared of the Bills too. They're not going to be motivated to come. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to probably win the game against New England, but I think it could be an ugly, game. It's going to be freezing.
I was about to say it's supposed to be bitterly cold at this point.
Or they'll get that late touchdown to and the Bills won't cover or something like that.
I kind of thought, if I'm being honest, now I didn't have that game period on my thing, but I mean, if I had to pick a bet to do in that game, it might be the under 46.5 in that one, which is weird. Which is weird saying that with the Bills, but
when the Bills can score 46 on their own.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm touching that game either. It will be fun to watch. They moved it to the 4:00 window, which is nice, and it should be nice to watch from the comfort of our own homes, right?
Yeah, I ain't going. That's for sure. Jim, choice is yours. You beat the tiebreaker on me, given the standing position.
All right. Man, I do have a lot of games. You got any? So you're going all pro?
I'm going all pro this week. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go under 47.5 at Tennessee, Ohio State. And I don't know if you get what the number is that you got there, but
What'd you get it at?
47.5. It's 46 now.
Yeah, you have the better number, so
Well, okay.
40. I have it right now. The best line available is 46.5. So if you have a 47, you get it at 47.
So, Ohio State's offensive line is probably the weakest it's been all year. It clearly is because of the injuries. Tennessee has first-round talent on the defensive line. Be a headache for Ohio State the entire game. Probably won't be a ton of points because of that. And yeah, I mean, last time Ohio State played against Michigan, it was just like I anticipate Ryan Day to be conservative again, and it's going to be ugly, I think.
Yeah.
So I also like Tennessee with the points, but I like the under better. And sticking with that theme, and obviously weather too is the other thing.
Yeah.
Same thing. In these are big games. Coaches are going to be a little more conservative, I think. I don't think you're going to see shootouts. So Notre Dame, Indiana, under 51. Weather could be really bad.
Well, good news, Jim. I can get you at 52.5.
Okay, I'll take it at 52.5. And, whenever Indiana's played a good team, whether it was Michigan or Ohio, and Michigan's not even that good a team, but or Ohio State, they struggled on offense. And Notre Dame's got a better defense than offense, I think. Indiana's got a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. These are games, these are playoff games. I just see ball position and conservative play calling kind of ruling the day, and especially in these bad weather situations, which both these games are going to be bad weather. So yeah, there we go. And then we know what else? Keep it in college and let you know my opinions on the Gasparilla Bowl.
Hell yeah.
I like Florida minus 12.5 against Tulane. Tulane embarrassed themselves in back-to-back weeks to end their season, including losing the AAC title game to Army, 35-14. So if you can't cover 12.5 against Army, what are you going to do against Florida? And granted, Florida isn't necessarily what they used to be.
The end of the year strong.
Yeah, they're trending up. Tulane trending down. Throw on top of that the Green Waves quarterback is in the transfer portal. Florida beat LSU and Ole Miss in back-to-back weeks. They clobbered Florida State in their season finale. That could have been a trap game. 12.5 points against Tulane. Give me the Gators. So I'm going 3 college games this week because this Christmas season has a college football feel to it, unlike any holiday season in the past. This is something totally new. I mean, even last year, we wait till what, New Year's Day for the semifinals? These are playoff games now, this week. It's good. It's great. It's great. And on that note, I'd also like to say that I like more and more, I like Boise State, whether they play Penn State or SMU in the next round on the money line, because they're going to have huge odds. Everybody's looking past them.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
I like that. I like that thought process there. So, yeah, I'm going all pro this week. I don't know. We'll see. I suck. It don't matter. You're tailing me anyway. If you're smart, you're tailing me anyway or fading me at this point.
Fading.
Yeah. I'm going Steelers plus 6.5 against Baltimore. Just my running theory of Baltimore not showing up in big games. I'm going to take it and run. I don't know if
I like it, except the game's not big enough yet for Baltimore to falter. It has to be like to get to the AFC Championship game or in the AFC Championship game. That's the level of game where Baltimore and Lamar Jackson will fall apart.
All right. That's true.
Because I initially looked at that, and it reminds me of how I felt about the Steelers going into last week.
It's fair.
And is TJ Watt playing?
Still up in the air.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't feel comfortable with that one, but I was initially leading Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of being in the air, I'm taking Carolina plus 5 against Arizona.
That's dangerous, too.
Now, I hope you're ready for this third one, then.
You're risky today.
I'm taking the Giants plus 9 against the Atlanta Falcons.
In Penix's debut.
Exactly. I'm going with the Giants in this. I mean, it's not a tank bowl this game, but it's a mess bowl if I've ever seen it. So I'm going to take the Giants.
The Giants will be tanking. Atlanta's in it.
Common sense be damned. I just think Atlanta, with the way they handled this week, I just don't know how well it's going to be.
They're a joke.
Yeah.
But they are not as big a joke as the Giants.
Yeah.
Atlanta's still in the playoff picture here.
It's true.
So I don't know. I might not be putting any money on the Giants until next year.
Exactly.
When this guy's behind the center for the New York Giants.
You can only hope. Well, people can only hope. Following in the footsteps of pretty much the guy he broke a number of records of this year, Ryan Nassib.
So, oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
I like the over in that Panthers-Cardinals game. Probably be decent weather, and neither team has a good defense. And what's the Panthers quarterback? Bryce Young. Yeah, he's really looked good against teams that didn't have good defenses.
True.
And looked bad against teams that put a lot of pressure on him. And the same, I think, can be said for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And so I just think there's going to be a lot of points scored in that game. I do. If I had to choose a side, I would be with you with the Panthers, though. But I like over 46.5 in that one.
Yeah. Hey, look, frankly, at this point, I'm just throwing caution to the wind. What do I have to lose? I'm back in the negative again.
How can nobody take the Vikings -3 against Seattle?
I did think about it, but
they scare me.
Darnold,
nobody has confidence in the
scares
Vikings.
me.
Why would he scare you? They're legit. They ain't got Aaron Jones.
Softer schedule. Didn't look great on Monday night. Played okay, but
looked pretty good.
I don't know. Might be a tough game. Considering
Seattle hasn't shown me nothing to.
No, I mean, especially now, it looks like Geno is playing the way it seems right now, but I don't know. I don't disagree, especially if Sam Howell is under center, because like that looked bad on Sunday when he had to come in. So
I just think that
yeah.
the Vikings are. Everybody wants to overlook them. Right now everybody's high on the Packers.
Yeah, that's true.
And to me, they're similar teams in a way, except the Vikings are a little more organized. Who their offensive threats are. It kind of varies in Green Bay, and Jacobs, against the Vikings running back.
Jones.
Yeah, Jones. I mean, they're very similar, and Darnold. This is Sam Darnold's year.
Yeah, it's true.
I mentioned it last week
Vikings
too.
Better defense.
We now have a division race. Remember, the Lions lost to the Bills. The Vikings won their game, and suddenly they're 12-2, and they do play each other. I'm pretty sure once more. I don't think they played each other twice already. Yeah, that's in the final week.
Yeah,
so that's going to be crazy.
A lot of implications. Yeah, so a lot of playoff seedings could be affected there. So, but to get there, I think the Vikings need to beat Seattle, and I just think I think the Vikings are one of the handful of teams that can win a Super Bowl this year, and they're probably at the bottom of that list by the court of public opinion, and I don't necessarily know why. And Seattle has just been a disappointment this year, honestly. And you mentioned on top of that, dealing with some injuries. You got Charbonnet at running back.
I forgot about that too, yeah.
So I was surprised nobody took the Vikings. They were on my list, but I decided to go all college this week.
Do you have any thoughts on tonight's Broncos-Chargers game?
Broncos. I don't like picking Thursday night games on this show because it's just, people are watching it on Friday or Saturday.
I don't like picking them anyway because, the games are just, frankly, crapshoots for the most part. Just the way it plays out. I will take
big game for both teams.
I'll take Pete Herbstreit, the dog, to make an appearance in the booth during the broadcast. If you want me to pick a bet, Kyle, I'm picking Pete Herbstreit, the dog, to make an appearance.
I actually have I put a bet in on tonight's game. I got the Broncos. What were they? -3.5, I think.
I thought the Chargers were -3.
It's now 2.5. What it might have been.
Is the Broncos underdogs?
Yep, underdogs.
Oh, so what I did was I teased it from 2.5 to 3.5. Just I don't like the key number, especially if it's close late and it comes down to a field goal.
McLaughlin's out for them, right?
But I parlayed. Yeah, he is. But they got Williams and Audric Esteen.
Yeah.
So you could throw anybody in the backfield for Denver. It wouldn't matter, right? Terrell Davis isn't walking through that door anytime soon.
Hell yeah.
So I parlayed Broncos with the 3.5 teased, and I went with Knicks over 20.5 rushing yards and Marvin Mims over 22.5 receiving yards.
Ooh.
And that's it. 3-way same game parlay.
I like that. Marvin Mims has really come on here all of a sudden, in the past handful of games.
He's trending up, and they don't really have a true number two.
Yeah.
He's kind of it now, and I think the Chargers defense is good enough. You get Joey Bosa rushing around the edge, and Knicks will have to take off a couple times. I think he'll get that easy.
Yeah, sure.
I was surprised it was so low. I was expecting it to be more like 28, 32 yards.
Yeah. I think it's because he doesn't really take off in that sense all that much. So,
but everybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, who was it? Like Jared Goff last week.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's a good Thursday night game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say it's a pretty nice full slate of stuff going on starting tonight through the weekend. So, plenty to keep an eye on and look forward to.
What is our plan for next week? We're obviously not going to be back here Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday show?
I'd be down for that. Yeah.
And we'll reconvene on Friday. We won't give any of our Christmas Day games. Let's just give our thoughts quick on those.
Yeah. Not looking forward to them. I don't think I don't know. It's tough. You have some of the teams like Kansas City.
Do it when Christmas is on a Wednesday. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing.
NBA
You have teams playing 3 games within an 11-day stretch. I just can't imagine it's going to be good football.
Good for the Bills though, because they're not one of them.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up probably betting something, but I'm
going to bet them all. It's Christmas.
I just don't. I need like everybody should. Have to wait through the weekend here and see what really shakes out. But
I mean, the Kansas City game is a great game.
yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not thrilled with Christmas football on a Wednesday. I get it if it's like Thursday, Saturday, whatever, but Wednesday,
Yeah, they shouldn't do it unless Christmas falls on a Thursday through a Monday. If Christmas is on a Tuesday or Wednesday, you just don't do it. But, you know, NFL's king, and they can do whatever they want.
I don't know. I'm with you. NBA. Plenty to bet on the NBA.
I don't enjoy the NBA on Christmas at all. It's always been that
Right.
way, and now
That's why I think this is awesome. I know you guys aren't a big fan, but knowing that I have something to do, you know, in the evening.
I'm happy to watch it. Look, I'm a fan of it from knowing I'm going to be sitting there on Christmas watching these football games. I like that part of it, but I think it's stupid for the competitive balance of the league.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's funny that the NBA was the NBA's big day.
Right.
It used to be the de facto opening day of the NBA season, and now it's like, you know, NFL rules.
yeah.
And the Chiefs-Steelers game probably wasn't going to be great anyways. It's probably going to be like a low-scoring, grinded-out battle, lots of punts. I mean, it probably wasn't going to be a great game anyway. And then the Ravens-Texans, I mean, the Texans have been so underwhelming this year compared to what they were last year offensively.
And they could really get a nail in their coffin this week again when they play Kansas City. I mean, it's going to be, I don't know if you call it it's a must win, right?
I mean, I mean, it's not like I won't be watching, but oh God, I'm just not looking forward to it. Yeah.
And there'll be
I don't know,
college
man.
football on Christmas, right? There's got to be a couple games.
I don't think there's any bowl games on Christmas
really? No
this year.
Christmas Day bowl games.
I think did the Hawaii Bowl go back to Christmas Eve this year? I think it did.
Who knows?
But that was always one of my fun viewing experiences growing up. Was got home from my aunt's,
Watch
ESPN
the
always.
Hawaii Bowl?
Yep, typically a guarantee of either BYU and Hawaii in there against. Man, because that's always traditionally been two West Coast teams within the different conferences. But man, I just would always look forward to having either Hawaii or BYU. And I mean, for me, like Colt Brennan sticks out and stuff like that. But that's a different discussion for a different time. But I think that about does it for the betting podcast.
I'll throw out a
today.
stat.
Oh,
This might be the stat of the day.
okay.
Both the Yankees and Mets have won a game more recently than the Giants have.
Ew.
Geez, that's a crazy stat.
By the way, it's December 19th, guys.
Yeah.
Baseball's been over a month.
It's hot stove time, and the Yanks are still on and Mets are both on better win streaks than the Giants.
Yep, and if you want another stat, I mean, I don't know if people realize the Giants are 0-8 at home. Both of their wins have come on the road. So what a weird team and season, and lots of
I won a
changes coming.
prop bet. Like I said, I had the Broncos over whatever 5.5, 6.5, and I had the 49ers under 11.5, and I had the Giants under 6.5. I could have done the Giants under 3.
So to answer a question, by the way, no bowls on Christmas, but the Hawaii Bowl is back on Christmas Eve this year, 8 p.m.
It'll
Eastern.
roll over
kickoff.
into Christmas.
Yep.
Probably.
South Florida versus San Jose State.
Wow. Yeah. I can't wait to watch that.
I mean, I'll be watching. Like I said, when I get home, I'm excited for that. So
The over-under is 16.5. Is that a good over-under for them? I don't know anything about these teams.
for those two,
Looks like a shootout's coming in that game.
well, San Jose State does like running the ball a little bit. They're probably banking on, I think, the defenses on both have kind of been not fully plundered by the portal, but probably banking on the defenses being soft, which I can see, but man, dude, I don't know. Some of the Hawaii Bowls get really low scoring every now and then. So,
Well, if you like offense, tune in Christmas Eve for this great college football.
hell yeah, dude. You're starting to get the hang of it.
Yeah. South
All games are
Florida
good games.
in San Jose State.
Spartans versus the Bulls. So, hey, all college football is good football for me. I'll take that. I'm 5-0 in my Bowl Mania picks so far, so I'm taking
Hey,
that.
one last thing.
Yeah.
Doug Gottlieb took over
Oh.
the
Get them.
Green
Green
Bay?
Bay.
Yeah. And he's pretty confident about how he's going to do, and he's riding an 8-game losing streak.
Get him.
They lost last night or 2 nights ago.
No, but it was yesterday at 11 a.m.
Yeah, to Division II.
Michigan Tech.
Michigan Tech defeated Doug Gottlieb's Division I Green Bay.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
I freaking hate Gottlieb.
I think it's hilarious.
Up there. But yeah, Michigan Tech. Kyle, do you pay attention to like college hockey at all or no?
Not really.
Okay, Michigan Tech. When I think of Michigan Tech, I think of hockey, college hockey.
Oh, sure. Who doesn't?
Well, they're one of the Division I kind of stalwarts within college hockey for a while. And, Gottlieb yesterday going into the game called them Nobody You. And
smart.
Hate to bear a bad news to you, Doug, but Green Bay has been Nobody You for college basketball for outside of last year, probably the better part.
Does he make it through the season?
I think he makes it through the season, yeah, because the buyout is a little bit less money at the end of that. And then he can go back to doing his radio show full time. Which
will have even less credibility at this point.
Yeah.
How do you go from that to talking about other coaches?
Yeah. So, hey, I mean, I get why he wanted to take the job. I know his dad was the coach at Milwaukee back in the day and everything like that. But the fact that he wasn't willing to give up his radio show and he skipped it yesterday because he knew he would probably be taking a lot of flack from people on the show. Yeah, I mean, he's about as much of a fraud as he is a credit card thief. So,
I'm willing to give him a pass on that. That was so long ago. But I think that's run its course. But now we got something new to make fun of Gottlieb about.
So, Kyle has no idea who the hell Doug Gottlieb is, do you?
I don't.
Yeah, fair.
Sorry.
Yeah. I don't blame you. He's
a radio host.
He hasn't been. How long has it been since he's been on ESPN? It's got to be pushing over a decade at this point, right?
Yeah, I don't know. He used to be an ESPN college basketball analyst. Yeah. You know, he's one of those guys. He's got his own radio show, but he played point guard, started out at Notre Dame, got kicked off the team for stealing a fellow student's credit card his freshman year, then went to Oklahoma State where he had a okay career, final 3 years playing for Eddie Sutton.
Yeah.
And then from there, obviously not on, I don't know what he did between college and when he started becoming a personality, a sports talk personality. But so then he's got his own radio show, and he got offered the job at Milwaukee Green Bay over the last off season to coach their Division I basketball program, and he's totally become the worst coach in the country.
Yeah, he did a couple years playing.
Oh, in Israel or something like that?
USBL and stuff like that. Yeah, he was in Israel for a season.
I don't know why I knew that.
The Maccabi. I'm not. You want to know what? For the sake of respecting everybody, I'm not going to attempt that. But yeah, so he is Doug Gottlieb. So, all right, we'll get out here on that note.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Happy holidays. We'll see you on Friday, right?
Yep, next Friday.
Probably late morning-ish, maybe.
Something like that,
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Check your local list.
Either way, you'll know. Friday guarantee. Depends when. TBA on that. So, happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Festivus. Whatever you celebrate. Good luck placing your bets this weekend. Stay in the green. We'll talk again next week.